Okay, so today we're just going to have a look in this video quickly at how to hold your camera. It's quite basic and straightforward, but it's something you need to get right. I've been surprised just recently being away on holiday, firstly the amount of digital SLRs people have, but how badly they can be holding them. And I guess if you've just upgraded from a click and shoot or an iPhone type thing, you're used to holding it like this, and it's amazed me seeing how awkward people can look. So firstly, it's very clear and it should be obvious to you. Your right hand really fits in here, and you can take the weight of your camera with this. Excuse my dog. It's designed so your finger fits straight over the trigger here. So actually while you're holding that, sometimes on the smaller ones, hand underneath, but you should be able to click and focus quite easily. So what are you doing with this second hand? Well, don't stand like this, and ideally you want to get used to using the viewfinder, not be looking at this display. You'll get a much clearer picture through here, and it also gives you, you're holding it to your body, so your head is actually becoming part of a support there. So I've got head on there, hands nice and stable. This hand, I would always use this very much to rest it on. This one's taking the weight. If your lens is out, your hand could be stretched out further, or gripping it around here, but not back here on the back of your camera. Okay, so use this one to take the weight, and it gives you this hand then to use to take your shots with. Okay, so what about your arms? Are you out here? Are you know, again, still can be quite wobbly. Try and get these elbows right in tight. And this actually goes back, I can remember doing this kind of stuff at martial arts. You can put your weight on your front foot there really, and let that take all the weight, and tuck this hand in, and I am in a extremely stable position there holding that without this hand. Okay, so you can see that side on, so I'm leaning into it, this leg's doing nothing, I've got this tucked in nice and tight here, and I can really keep that nice and still. Now in some situations you'll want to use a tripod. You know, certainly if you're doing landscapes and things, a tripod will help you, absolutely. But it's not always practical, and the chances are you're not going to have it with you unless you've gone to the beach for the day and you want to get some particular shots. So I'm trying to get you used to using this without. If you've got a tripod, then great, but you don't want to not be getting shots because of not being able to hold your camera well. So really locking that in nice and tight is the main tip. Get in here, get your face squashed against the camera as well, and get used to keeping that. You're making yourself as small as possible, as tight as possible around this, and that will make a massive difference to your shots. Now we're going to have a look around the garden here. Imagine I'm taking photos of, you've seen I've got a dog here, or I've got kids. Maybe I want to take photos of the kids. The more you're zooming in, the harder it's going to be to keep this camera still. Taking a nice wide shot is fine, but if I'm zooming in, this lens goes up to 300mm, and I can see as I look through some movement in that. So what other things around here can I use as natural props? And then we'll have a look outside, and we'll have a look actually as well just sitting on the floor, because a lot of the times if you can sit on the floor you can make yourself a lot more stable than standing up like this. So let's go and have a go. Okay, so here's a chair that we've just found in the garden. How can I use a chair to help me with my pose? Well, firstly, just sitting in the chair, instantly I've made myself a very stable position there. It's very comfortable as well. Not so much leaning back, sitting forwards, elbows on knees. That's a great little position. I can hold that pretty stable. Okay, what else can I do with it? It might be that same sort of thing, getting my elbows tucked in, whoop, and leaning on here like this. Can use it that way. I could even get down and use the thing to rest on like this. Not quite as comfortable. Further out on the lens even. So lots of uses just with a simple chair that I've found. Yeah, different ways that you can do that to hold it, that's just taking the weight off of yourself. So that's one thing. So we're sitting down this time. Obviously you need dry ground for this one, but It's a much better position. I feel a lot more comfortable here, and actually certainly if you're working with children, it's much better to be at a lower angle anyway. So I've instantly got myself my little tripod here, and I can zoom in and I can hold that. I tend to just sort of make my hand bigger, or however you want to do that. That tends to be my pose, and I'll hold it like that, and I could sit like that for a while and I'm feeling very stable. You might prefer something like this. Again, just getting yourself comfortable, locking in. I don't know, it might be that you like to sit at this sort of angle and hold it out to your side, but you are so much more stable and still in that position, aren't we, Bella? Hey, so sitting down is always a winner if you can cope with that. And bless her. So yeah, there's a few tips, there's a few ideas. So try and find an object if you can do. If you're out in a park, maybe it's a bench, maybe it's a tree you can lean up against. Wrap yourself around the tree and really hold that in position. Sit yourself down on the floor, lie down on the floor. Try zooming in as far as your lens will go, and you'll see if you've got any shake and movement there. But it's one of the simplest ways to help you get better, sharper pictures. So I think we'd better leave it there before Bella takes over. And yeah, I hope that was helpful.